What up guys, PTCG here, doing a deck profile of Gardevoir GX. This is a little bit different from lists you may have seen. This is just my personal favorite. I've had problems with it breaking. And this doesn't really break as much. There's also the new addition in the meta of the Steel deck that's super popular. So that means that we shouldn't play all Fairy Ralts because they can get trampled over by Registeel. But anyway, we play two of the Fairy Ralts. I believe that the Mumbo Ralts is better, because you can attack with a double Colorless. And then two of the Psychic Smack Ralts. Essentially, these are just, if you're facing against a Psychic deck, you want to use the Fairy Ralts as much as possible. If you're facing against a Metal deck, you want to use the Psychic Ralts pretty much completely. And one thing that you can do, if you can't decide between Mumble and the other one, or if you like the Burning Shadows one better, you can play the Burning Shadows one over the Breakthrough one if you want. Or you can play one Mumble and one of the Burning Shadows one. Like I said, the Ralts don't really matter as long as you're playing at least one of the Psychic Ralts, but I prefer two. Two Kirlia, preferably one of each. I'm gearing towards playing all Psychic Kirlia, just because Quick Turn is a better attack, but you don't want to get, knocked out by a Trash Lance that's only doing 40 damage. And then the Fairy Kirlia, the attack is okay. There's a guaranteed 20, but, yeah, that's okay. And then it gets one-shotted by a Registeel if they have a Delmise in play, so that's why I very much prefer the other Ralts, or the other Kirlia. Also, Kirlia with two heads can one-shot Gardevoirs. So, 3 Gardevoir GX, the Secret Spring ability allows you to attach a Fairy Energy, an extra Fairy Energy per turn. Infinite Force does 30 more damage for each energy attached to both active, and then Twilight GX shuffles 10 cards from your discard pile into your deck, but you can only use that once per game. And this, like the other Fairy types, is weak to Steel. And we have 2 Gallade. This is against Metal. It's weak to Psychic, just like the other anti-metal things are weak to Psychic, which is kind of funny. Since this blade is such a good attack, because it can one-shot Registeel, as long as he's played a supporter. And it also works well with Octillery, because what you can do is you can use Premonition to stack your top 5, and then draw however many cards you can with Abyssal Hand. So yeah. Also, the Gallade is really hard to knock out, and it has 150 HP. So, your opponent is still most likely going to be two-shotting this, but it's only worth 1 prize card, so this is super good in Gardevoir GX. Next is 2 Tapu Lele GX. I am honestly, in most decks, I only play 2. I only have 2. Even if I had a 3rd and 4th, I would still most likely play 2 in most decks. Just because I feel like 3, you're starting to get, you're starting to start with them more, and you want to start with other things. We do also play 1 Alolan Vulpix for the Beacon attack, because if you go second, then you can just Beacon for 2 Pokemon, and you still can attach an energy to, like, a bench Ralt or whatever. One thing that I have included that can be many different things is a Mr. Mime. This could be a Giratina, this could be a Diancie even, an Oranguru, a 3rd Tapu Lele. This could even be a Tapu Koko, actually. I did try that in, like, the beta stage of this version of the deck. I think Mr. Mime is my favorite because I was having trouble against Buzzwole. And the Ninetales matchup is sometimes kind of a pain in the ass. So this kind of solves that, relatively well. Especially with Rusty Stretcher and, Twilight. We do play a 1/1 Octillery line, so that you can draw cards once you're kind of running out of your hand, or if you get end to a low number, you can use Abyssal Hand. Speaking of end, we have 4 end. Most decks play at least 3. Each player shuffles their hand, their deck, and then draws cards equal to the amount of prize cards they have. Super good late game, super good early game if you don't want to discard your hand. So that's why we play 4. Only 3 Sycamore. You don't really need a 4th, and sometimes you don't want to discard your hand. So 3 Guzma to switch out your Pokemon. This is especially good because you can surprise your opponent with a Gallade. Especially against Silvally, because Silvally is weak to fighting. You can Guzma the Silvally, put up your own Gallade, and then one-shot the Silvally. We also play 2 Brigette just to get out your basics faster, because we play a lot of basics like Remoraid, Mr. Mime, Alolan Vulpix, Ralts. So you need to get them out faster. If you find yourself getting Brigette too often, when you don't need it, you might want to cut one for a Skyla, a Lily, or a 4th Sycamore. But for Ultra Ball, to get out your Pokemon faster, forgot to put the secret rare ones in here, but still Ultra Ball, doesn't really matter. For Rare Candy, because you need to get your Gardevoir and Gallades out turn 2, ideally. We do play Kirlia because sometimes you will need to get them out turn 3, and especially if you're playing Diancie, which I'm not, but you can. You'll need to play Kirlia so that you can still get them out turn 2 if you go second. Just using Kirlia instead. For Max Potion, this is kind of the reason that this deck has taken off so much, even with the Metal type being so relevant, is because if they don't one-shot you, then they won't two-shot you, because you heal all the damage off. And then they have to hit you again, and maybe you have another Max Potion. So this deck is just really good for that. 2 Field Blower, to get choice bands off of your opponent's Pokemon, and also to counter Gardevoir, so that you can use your Secret Spring ability. 2 Super Rod, this is mainly so that you don't waste too much energy with Max Potion. You can shuffle them back in. You can also shuffle your energies and your Super Rods themselves back in with, Twilight GX. We also play 2 Choice Band. Super good for enhancing your damage by 30. It acts as another energy when you have it on a Gardevoir. 1 Parallel City. This is just kind of a versatile card that I love in this deck. So I would play it, obviously. Maybe even 2 Parallel City is good. I tried that with Sylveon. I don't like it as much now because you don't really need it as often. And then we play 8 Fairy and 4 Double Colorless. Most of these lists are playing 7 Fairy, but I don't like that because you miss the energy too much after you Max Potion and you can't attack. And then the Max Potion is kind of useless, because you still kind of wasted an attack. So, yeah. So this is my Gardevoir GX deck list. This is one of my favorite decks right now. I didn't really like it at first with the Sylveon, but now I really like it with the Max Potions. So I believe that the Max Potion is definitely the way to go. Anyways, feel free to leave a like on this video, and subscribe to Caterpie TCG for more Pokemon deck profiles like this one. And I will see you in the next video.